everybody, and a very warm welcome to LMT YouTube channel.
Meghan talking about her and Harry's daughter, who will be born anytime now. Meghan appeared in her role as campaign chair for VaxLive giving a speech.
The past year has been defined by communities coming together, tirelessly and heroically to tackle COVID-19. And we've gathered tonight because the road ahead is getting brighter, but it's going to take every one of us to find our way forward. As campaign chairs of VaxLive, my husband and I believe it's critical that our recovery prioritizes the health, safety, and success of everyone, and particularly women, who have been disproportionately affected by this pandemic. With the surge in gender-based violence, the increased responsibility of unpaid care work, and new obstacles that have reversed so much progress for women in the workplace, we're at an inflection point for gender equity. Women, and especially women of color, have seen a generation of economic gain wiped out. Since the pandemic began, nearly 5.5 million women have lost work in the US, and 47 million more women around the world are expected to slip into extreme poverty. But if we work together to bring vaccines to every country and continent, insist that vaccines are equitably distributed and fairly priced, and ensure that governments around the world are donating their additional vaccines to countries in need, then we can begin to fully rebuild. Not only to restore us to where we were before, but to go further and rapidly advance the conditions, opportunity, and mobility for women everywhere. My husband and I are thrilled to soon be welcoming a daughter. It's a feeling of joy we share with millions of other families around the world. When we think of her, we think of all the young women and girls around the globe who must be given the ability and support to lead us forward. Their future leadership depends on the decisions we make and the actions we take now to set them up and to set all of us up for a successful, equitable, and compassionate tomorrow. Now, tonight we've had a reminder of the things we miss the most, be it live music and sporting events, or just physical contact with family and friends where we can sit together, laugh together, and hug one another. Whatever it is, it all circles back to the same thing: connecting as a community. For most of us, this means our local community, our loved ones, our neighborhood. But let's also think about our global community. Across the world, we've struggled together. Now we deserve to heal together. We want to make sure that as we recover stronger, that as we rebuild together. Thank you.
In their roles as campaign chairs, Meghan and Harry have led a coordinated drive across the private sector to raise critical funds for the vaccine sharing program. Behind-the-scenes footage of our Duke and his role as campaign chair from last Sunday.
Over the last year, everyone has experienced so much loss and so much struggle, and I think the only way that we are really going to heal and recover is to do that together. And I think the saddest and most worrying thing, certainly for me and my wife, when Hugh asked us to be campaign chairs, of course we jumped at the opportunity to say yes, to throw our support behind this because we believe in it. But I think what we really need to be aware of and what we cannot allow to happen is science being politicized. So many things have been politicized over the years, but when we're talking about life and death, which is what we're talking about now, vaccines cannot be politicized. But being able to come together as humans, as people, is how we're going to get ourselves out of this. And we must ensure that everyone around the world has equal access to the vaccine. Otherwise, none of this works.
In their role as campaign chairs, the Sussexes have secured dollar-for-dollar donation matching from several organizations, including MasterCard, for COVAX Rugavi, the Vaccine Alliance.
Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex.
Hi guys, before I start I just want to say every single one of you in here are awesome, so thank you. I understand why people are confused or sometimes don't know what to think or believe about vaccines. We are experiencing a viral pandemic alongside a digital pandemic. In today's world, we are so connected, like a vast nervous system, whether we're online or not. And much like the virus, there are no borders online. So when vaccine misinformation and disinformation spreads, magnified on social media and in parts of traditional media, it exposes a collective threat to humanity. I believe that misinformation is a global humanitarian crisis, and the crisis is getting worse. In recent months, we've seen a stark rise in vaccine hesitancy. For the nations that have received so few doses and the countries where cases are rising and the human loss is staggering, hesitancy is not an option. Misinformation is not simply harming those who believe it, but also those who don't. We must tackle each of these issues head-on: vaccine equity and misinformation. And if vaccine distribution moved half as quickly as misinformation, just imagine how many lives could be saved. As long as nations struggle with COVID-19, we all struggle with it. One place where this is being felt more than most right now is South Africa.
Another analysis.
The truth about Prince Harry and Kate Middleton's relationship. We all know the truth about Prince Harry's relationship with his brother, Prince William, but where does Kate Middleton fall into the mix? Kate has been by William's side for over a decade, so it comes as no surprise that she's been an integral part of Harry's life too. From public events to royal weddings to home-cooked meals at Kensington Palace, Harry, William, and Kate seem to be the three musketeers. Of course, a lot of things changed when Harry and Meghan Markle started dating. Pretty much all the royal news has revolved around Harry and William's feud, how they went from brothers in arms to, let's face it, enemies. For the foreseeable future, William and Harry won't see eye to eye, but where does that leave Kate? All eyes were on the trio when they were reunited for the first time, since Harry left his role as a senior royal. At the royal funeral of Prince Philip, Harry, William, and Kate once again walked together, a glimpse from the past, if you will. So where do things between Harry and Kate stand? Here's the truth about Prince Harry and Kate Middleton's relationship. Prince Harry was still a teenager when he met Kate Middleton. The world watched when Prince Harry and Prince William walked behind their mother's casket in 1997, just two young boys, but they were grieving on the world stage. Both Harry and William went on with their lives, and William met Kate Middleton at the University of St Andrews in 2003. Kate met Harry quickly thereafter, and things blossomed from there. From the earliest days, Kate always maintained an open-door policy to Prince Harry. And additionally, while they were students, she always made him feel welcome. The insider continued. The three also spent weekends together. Of course, Harry's teens and early 22s looked a bit rough, so it's hard to say exactly how his behavior impacted his relationship with his brother and Kate. His early years were a bit all over the place, and we can't help but wonder if Kate gave him some sisterly advice.
You got to get dressed, you got to get in there, you wipe the tears away, shake off whatever you're thinking about, and you got to be on your A game.
Kate Middleton knew that a bond with Prince Harry was crucial in winning over Prince William. If anyone is going to tell you the truth about your prospective significant other, it's your sibling. You can always count on them for their brutal honesty, sometimes to a fault, but that was a reality that Kate Middleton reportedly clued in on. Kate quickly learned that a positive relationship with Prince Harry was crucial in maintaining a good romance with Prince William. An inside source even said that she knew that getting on with Harry was key to her relationship with William. Of course, Kate was from a fairly normal family and had a sibling of her own, so it comes as no surprise that she was a bit of a natural when it came to bonding with the young prince. But from the very first day, another insider said, Kate made a massive effort with Harry. She grew up in such an inclusive family, the en masse Middletons, and all that. En masse Middletons was a nickname the family picked up because they always moved together. Looks like Kate really knew what she was doing.
Be able to have a happy family ourselves.
Prince Harry once said that Kate Middleton was the sister he never had. The royals are known for being private. They reportedly rarely talk about their feelings, the inner workings of the family, the experiences that they go through, or the realities, both good and bad, of being royal. However, Prince Harry sat down with Newsweek in 2017 for an interview and was surprisingly forthcoming about the dynamic that he had with his family members, Kate Middleton included. Let's start with the Queen. Harry called her remarkable, something we can all agree on. He then talked about his late mother, Princess Diana, sharing that she did everything she could to make his life fun and safe. Harry hardly mentioned his father, Prince Charles, and his wife Camilla Parker Bowles, which, given the history there, doesn't come as a huge shock. But what about Kate? When William asked her to marry him, Harry called Kate the sister he'd never had. Harry had made a habit of going over to his brother and sister-in-laws for dinner at Kensington Palace, as Kate would make him his favorite meals. If one thing's clear, these two had a very special bond. Prince Harry and Kate Middleton used to live in very close proximity to each other. At one time, Prince Harry and Kate Middleton were neighbors. Harry lived in the two-bedroom Nottingham cottage on the Kensington Palace grounds, which was right next door to Kate Middleton and Prince William's apartment, Apartment 1A. At one point, according to an insider, Harry was reportedly more than comfortable just going over to his brother and sister-in-law's apartment whenever he felt like it. The source said, Harry is totally at ease popping over to the Cambridge's gym to work out next to William, and he's used to seeing Kate in her cashmere dressing gown reading to Charlotte, or joining in cozy family suppers, eaten from their laps. They also shared that Kate encouraged Harry to come play with his niece and nephew, Princess Charlotte, and Prince George. Baby Prince Louis wasn't on the scene yet, as often as he wanted. Things allegedly got complicated when Harry and Meghan Markle started their lives together. For a while, they lived in the two-bedroom apartment that Harry had been occupying as a single man. They eventually relocated to Frogmore Cottage. Kate Middleton and her husband agree that Prince Harry is a people person. Prince William might be the heir to the throne, and Kate Middleton might one day become queen, but Prince Harry reportedly has charms that neither his brother or sister-in-law can replicate. And according to a royal insider, both William and Kate know that to be true. A source close to Harry told LMT Channel that while William excelled at school more so than Harry, the younger of the two brothers has a way with people that William and Kate can't compete with. The source revealed, William was more successful academically, but when it comes to dealing with people, Harry knocks the spots off both him and Kate, especially with children. Harry is passionate about them and is a natural, which neither William nor Kate are. Of course, Harry doesn't have as much pressure on him that Kate and William do, as he is much further down the line of succession. Even so, it's interesting to think about what their dynamic behind closed doors must have been like. That is, of course, until Harry decided to step back from royal duties and move to California. Prince Harry confided in Kate Middleton more than his stepmother. Even if you're not a fan of the royal family, you most likely know some of what went down between Prince Charles and Princess Diana. The couple had two kids, Prince William and Prince Harry, but after a decade of stress and cheating, the two got divorced. Diana, tragically, died in 1997 and Charles married his longtime companion, Camilla Parker Bowles, in 2005. So where does Kate Middleton come in? An insider told LMT Channel that Kate stepped in for Harry as an emotional confidant, given that the role had previously been filled primarily by his mother. And while William and Harry get on with Camilla and are delighted to see their father happy, according to the source, they don't really confide in her. So it was Kate that Harry reportedly turned to in moments of need, and the two developed a genuine friendship while relying on one another for support. Kate was described as Harry's trusted counsel, and while their time together didn't always consist of deep talks, they were known to watch Game of Thrones together. They had each other's backs. Kate Middleton reportedly loved watching Prince Harry be an uncle to her children. There's nothing more fun than being an aunt or uncle. You get the best part of the kids without having to change the diapers or do the 2 a.m. feedings, and it certainly seemed like Prince Harry embraced the role of fun uncle. An inside source told LMT Channel that Kate Middleton and Harry really bonded over his free and easy spirit, and his attitude came in handy when playing with her kids. The source shared, Kate adores the way Harry plays with her children. He is very good with them, a charming big kid and silly uncle. But as you can imagine, things went downhill pretty quickly, and given the rift between Harry and Prince William, Harry's role as an uncle suffered. Royal authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand assessed in their book, Finding Freedom, that Harry's bond with Prince George and Princess Charlotte suffered as a result of the feud between the brothers. The authors also alleged that Kate was fiercely loyal to William, and that even during his feud with Harry, she did little to defuse the situation. Kate Middleton reportedly contributed to the rift between her husband and Prince Harry. Things tend to get more complicated when new additions to the family are made, but according to authors Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, things reportedly got distant between Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle, a no-go for Prince Harry. The authors alleged that Kate and Meghan had met each other with a distant politeness, and the press and public were picking up on it fairly quickly. Things really came to head at the King Power Royal Charity Polo Day when Kate and Meghan were spotted together. They had a cordial but distant rapport that was pretty much obvious to everyone. Of course, we can imagine that the dynamic didn't please Harry at all, especially considering that there was a lot going on in the royal family behind the scenes. While Kate and Meghan barely exchanged a word at the event, Scobie and Durand assessed that their dynamic was reflective of the conflict between Harry and the institution. Either way, it seemed as though Harry's relationship with Kate, his brother, and the royal family was slowly starting to crumble. Kate Middleton was mortified over what Prince Harry revealed during the Oprah interview. The interview. To words, and if you're a fan of the royals, you know exactly what we're talking about. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sat down with Oprah Winfrey and pretty much aired all the royal dirty laundry. Unsurprisingly, Kate Middleton was reportedly mortified over what they shared.
What was hard to get over was being blamed for something that not only I didn't do, but that happened to me.
One large point of contention between Kate and Meghan was over wedding details. It was originally reported that Meghan made Kate cry over flower girl dresses, but Meghan asserted in the interview that it was actually the other way around.
A few days before the wedding, she was upset about something pertaining to, yes, the issue was correct about flower girl dresses, and it made me cry.
Of course, it was just one small example of how quickly things had degraded between Harry and Meghan and Prince William and Kate. Royal author Katie Nicholl explained, "You never hear about Kate falling out with anyone because she is very careful with how she treats others. So for this story to be circulating is very hard." Nicholl also said that Kate was saddened, disappointed, and hurt by the interview, and given what we know about the bond she used to have with Harry, it makes all of it sting just a little more. Kate Middleton reportedly regrets getting involved with Prince Harry's royal exit. Hindsight is always 20/20, but that doesn't make it any less frustrating. And for Kate Middleton, it was reported that she regretted getting involved with the soap opera. That was Prince Harry and his exodus from the royal family, and his role as a senior royal. Kate and Prince William said about surrounding themselves in goodness in order to combat the stress that Harry and Meghan Markle's departure was causing. What did said goodness consist of? Their children, Kate's parents, Pippa Middleton and her husband, and close family members. An inside source said, "William and Catherine could not be more discreet. They don't want to get involved in this public." Even when Harry spoke about the fallout with William, there was no briefing from them. And by saying nothing, that is the smartest move. Throughout the drama enveloping their extended family, Kate and William reportedly made an effort to listen to their advisors. The source concluded, "They don't wish to elevate this soap opera." Prince Harry and Kate Middleton reunited at Prince Philip's funeral. For a good chunk of time, Prince Harry was always trailing Prince William and Kate Middleton. He was the third wheel, to put it bluntly, but all of that changed when Meghan Markle joined his side. So it was quite the sight when Harry, William, and Kate reunited for the first time since Harry's departure to the United States. The three joined each other during the funeral proceedings for Prince Philip, who passed away in April 2021, and it seemed to go better between them than anticipated. William and Kate made a point of chatting and walking with Harry, and they all seemed to be in good spirits for the reunion. The three even went to a private funeral wake held for Philip at Windsor Castle shortly after the public ceremony, what we wouldn't give to have overheard those conversations. Of course, Meghan didn't join Harry as she was expecting their second child, so it was just the original three who made the event. With so much having happened between them, it's a wonder what Kate and Harry said to one another. Was Kate Middleton the peacemaker between Prince Harry and Prince William? Body language is perhaps more telling than verbal communication, and luckily for us, an expert analyzed the reunion of Prince Harry, Kate Middleton, and Prince William at Prince Philip's funeral. Joe Navarro, a body language expert, told LMT Channel that Kate served as a peacekeeper between the brothers and that she figured out a way to get them back together, while also giving them their space. He revealed, "If there is discord between the brothers, we don't see it here. William has set the pace, waiting for his brother to catch up, and Kate has moved to the side so that the brothers can be together." Navarro also pointed out that the proximity between the three royals was an indication of comfort, as they all were appropriately distanced from each other. He added, "Their proximity, their gait and synchrony, their countenance, and gaze back and forth suggest strongly that they are getting along." Kate, who joined the brothers for most of the service, did step back and give them a chance to speak, just the two of them. What we wouldn't give to know what was said.
Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more LMT videos about your favorite stuff. For coming soon, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.
Stop.